So if you're okay with questions, we can get going in a few seconds.
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah.
Okay. So hello, everybody, and welcome to another interview with Rangoli Radio. And we're delighted to have one of our council leaders on the call today, Martyn Long. Martyn, do you want to start by introducing yourself?
Yes, thanks for having me. So my name is Martyn Long, and I'm Head of Employment and Skills at Leeds City Council. So obviously responsible for making sure that we have the right employment and talent pathways for people across Leeds and for businesses and training providers as well.
I mean, that's a phenomenally important job. And as I'm sure you're aware, I was chairing the Employment Skills Panel for the Leeds City Region Led Board. So I'm deeply passionate in that topic as well. So delighted to be sharing some insights. Now, I know you've launched the Future Talent Programme within the council. Tell us a bit about what's the ambition here and what's the background to launching this programme?
Yeah, so brilliant. So you might be familiar, obviously, from your background. We've had the talent and skills plan in place since I think about 2017, and I think even in normal circumstances, it would be time for a refresh of that plan because it's 3 or 4 years old. But if you think the kind of last few years we've had, there's been some significant changes to the employment and skills landscape. So government policies changed quite significantly. We've got the devolution agenda, obviously, in West Yorkshire, which has given us some more powers and flexibilities around how we interpret some of those policies. But also Brexit and the kind of impact that COVID's had on the employment and skills landscape, particularly over the last couple of years. And as we try and lead the city out of the kind of pandemic into its economic recovery, we felt it was really important to kind of put a line in the sand and start again with the Future Talent Plan. And we're calling it Future Talent because we want to make sure that this doesn't just address the current issues, but it kind of makes us a more resilient, agile employment and skills landscape for the future, so that people, businesses, training providers can kind of thrive as we come out of the opportunities that are coming out of the pandemic, but build a bit more resilience so that for any future changes, we're better able and more agile to respond to it. And I think the ambition is to have, as I say, a future talent plan that I suppose offers something for everyone. So wherever you are, whatever your background in Leeds, we have a talent plan in place that enables you to thrive and take advantages of all the opportunities that will come as we kind of move forward.
Yeah, and I think there are lots of issues across the region. When you think about where we're at from a care provision, where you're at from a transformation of employment, right? As I talk to people, their expectations from employment have changed through the pandemic, right? So they need to rethink what work really means for them. And I was actually fortunate enough to go to COP26 last week, and that whole sustainability issue is massive, right? So that, I mean, these are just some of the topics, but then there's a broad range of opportunities out there where we in the region, we in the city, can start to help people find their passion and find a pathway for finding success for themselves. And so when you think about this Future Talent Programme, how we're building this plan, who do you expect to contribute in sharing their views of what the opportunities are, what their needs are?
So we want to have as many and as diverse a range of views as possible. So we launched the initial conversation back in October, and that kind of asked, what are the kind of current skills issues and what are those opportunities, and where do people see that landscape changing, and how do we want to be able to respond to it? And we've deliberately built the platform so that we can capture individual thoughts. So we want as many people in Leeds as possible, because like I said before, we want to try and make sure that this plan is open and accessible to everyone so that everyone can benefit from it. And so we want individuals, we want businesses, and we want representatives from the third sector, from different interest groups, basically as many views as we can get, because that's the only way we can truly make sure that the plan is something that can be owned by everyone in Leeds. And what we want at the end of it is a more kind of, rather than just a traditional kind of plan that gets kind of published and then we talk about it for a little bit and then it gets forgotten about. We want something that's a bit more dynamic, is responsive, and can be something that's shared and owned by everyone in Leeds, so that it can be constantly kind of adapted and changed as things change over the next few years.
That's fantastic, and I think it's a fantastic initiative, because we need to have everybody engaged and involved in building skills pipeline, if I call it that, in a way which is meaningful both for the individuals, for the employers, for the city, the leadership, and so that's fantastic. So look, how do people contribute? I know you said it's an open platform, but how do people get to that platform? How can they share their views?
Yeah, so there's a website called futuretalentleeds.org, and that's been built by some partners at a company called Clever Together, and it's a fantastic platform, and it enables people to kind of generate their own ideas, contribute to and thoughts on other people's ideas. You get to kind of like and dislike people's suggestions, and then obviously come up with your own. So it genuinely gives people a chance to kind of contribute and make sure their views are heard throughout the process. And then we will then analyze all of the responses and generate something that hopefully is representative of everyone in Leeds, rather than just the kind of the usual companies and people that we go to, which obviously are very important. But we want to make sure that this is an inclusive and diverse plan that offers something for everyone. Because I think as we try and kind of drive the city's economic recovery, we need to make sure that it's a recovery that kind of takes everyone with them, and we make sure the opportunities and benefits that are coming out of this next couple of years are as wide and diverse as possible. So I would encourage everyone to go to futuretalentleeds.org and make sure that your views are heard, because otherwise, we can't truly make sure that we represent the whole of Leeds unless we get as many views as possible.
And then, we're absolutely delighted to have you sharing these views on the Rungoli Radio platform, because we're going to tap into the Hindu community in a way that you wouldn't be able to tap into other ways. So having a community service like this is really, really valuable, and we're delighted to partner with you. So what can we expect to hear in the future? So I know you're going to do this. What's the sort of timeline you're working to? When can we expect to see some results?
So one of the good things about the platform is so anyone who contributes, it gives them the option to kind of be informed about future events. So if people are contributing and they tick that box, they will make sure that everything that happens they'll get informed about. But the plan is the conversation runs until late November, and then we'll do some analysis over Christmas. And the plan is to publish something in kind of March, April time, once it's been through the usual kind of council mechanisms and executive board. But like I said, what we want to do is not just have, we publish a plan and that's it. So that I'll be looking through all of the actions and thoughts that come out of it. And we'll be trying to kind of generate some tangible actions over the next 6 to 12 months, so that it can be right. This is what you've told us. These are what your priorities are, and this is how, as a council and a city, we'll respond to make sure that some of those things are put in place, or where we can't, at least kind of talk to people about why they can't be done, or why they can't be done in that timeline. So yeah, we hope to publish in kind of March, April time. But the plan is to have a series of kind of actions and kind of inputs over the period following that to make sure that everyone can see what's coming out of it.
That's wonderful. And look, let me make this offer. So once you've got your data and information ready, we'd be delighted to have you again to share the learnings and share the plans with the community here. I want to congratulate you. This is a fantastic initiative. Wish you all the success, because we absolutely need the right skills platform to build the talent which will take the city to the next level. And really appreciate everything you're doing here.
Definitely, and thanks for having me on. I'll be delighted to come back on and inform you as the plan develops. It'll be a fantastic opportunity for us.
Great, let's stay connected. Thanks, Martyn.
Brilliant. Thank you both.
Thanks.